All right, so under the bright lights of Monday Night Football, we basically saw a tale of two totally different franchises. You've got one side, a dynasty that looks like it's being reborn, and on the other, a season that's just completely in shambles. Seriously, this game was the perfect snapshot of two teams heading in opposite directions.
And get this, with this win, the New England Patriots just rattled off their 10th straight victory. I mean, they are without a doubt the hottest team in the league right now, and they're just rolling into their bye week with all this crazy momentum.
Meanwhile, for the Giants, well, this loss was pretty much the final nail in the coffin. That's 4 straight losses, and it officially knocked them out of the postseason. It's just a brutal way to end it, especially for a team that, just kept watching fourth quarter leads slip away all season long.
So you gotta ask, what really happened here? How does a game end up as a 33-15 blowout on national TV? Well, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna break down all the key things that really separated these two teams, everything from the QBs to the coaching.
And, it really all starts with the most important position on the field, right? The quarterback. The difference in how these two guys played was just night and day. It was a perfect picture of disciplined execution versus, well, some really costly improvisation. Okay, so this really lays out the core difference in their styles. For the Pats, you've got Drake May, who honestly plays like a seasoned vet. He's poised, he's accurate, he's smart, he just methodically goes through his progressions and, crucially, knows when to protect himself. Then you have Jackson Dart. He's all raw talent and just, reckless abandon. His first instinct is always to extend the play, but man, that often leads to him taking these huge, unnecessary hits. And the guys in the booth, they just couldn't stop talking about May's maturity. I think it was Troy Aikman who pointed out that for a second-year player, his ability to stay so calm, feel the pressure in the pocket, and still find the right guy, it's just exceptional. And that kind of play, it lifts up the whole offense. And then you've got Jackson Dart. Look, his instinct is to fight, to never ever give up on a play. But as we saw in this game, that exact same instinct can backfire spectacularly. It really is that classic case of a player who needs to be protected from himself sometimes. And this play right here, it illustrates the point perfectly. It's 3rd and 1. Dart scrambles. Now, instead of just stepping out of bounds, he fights for that 1 extra yard. He takes a huge but, totally legal hit. Of course, his teammates rush in to defend him, a little scuffle breaks out, and boom, the Giants get hit with a 15-yard penalty. So just like that, a manageable 3rd and 1 turns into an impossible 3rd and 16. I mean, a total drive killer. And it all started with that one reckless decision.
Okay, so let's zoom out from the players and look at the sidelines, because this Patriots team isn't just about one guy. It's about a whole culture, right? A new identity that's being built by their head coach, Mike Vrabel. And this is fascinating. You'd think a coach who comes from that old Patriot way school would be all about, grinding tape 24/7 and nothing else. But Vrabel's main message to his team? Don't take yourselves too seriously. And that philosophy, it's creating a completely different vibe up there in Foxborough.
And you can totally see the results of that message right here. The analysts are all saying this team is physical and super tough for sure, but they're also having fun out there. You can tell they want to play for this guy. The players have completely bought in, and it's showing up everywhere: offense, defense, and special teams. They're strong in all 3 phases.
So how do you get that kind of buy-in? Well, according to Marcus Jones, their star returner, it actually starts away from the practice facility. He mentioned that the defensive backs all get together on their days off to watch film and eat Chick-fil-A. I love that. It's that kind of off-the-field time that builds the relationships and trust that you see pay off on game day. And hey, speaking of all 3 phases, let's talk about special teams for a second. Because this part of the game, man, it just perfectly captured the huge gap between these two teams. It was a story of just explosive brilliance on one side and unbelievable blunders on the other. It all started with this: 94 yards, a punt return for a touchdown by Marcus Jones. He just feels the punt, sees a little bit of a lane, and boom, he's gone. No flags on the play, just an absolutely electrifying, game-changing play that really set the tone early on. And look, this is no accident. For years under Bill Belichick, the Patriots always felt like they had an advantage on special teams. And now, under Mike Vrabel, that legacy is just continuing. They're still incredibly well coached and just as dangerous as ever. Now, on the other side of the field, the Giants' special teams also had a moment that, well, nobody's going to forget anytime soon, but for all the wrong reasons. It was a single play that pretty much summed up their entire season.
Okay, let's break this down because it was just bizarre. The Giants are lining up for a 47-yard field goal. Their kicker, Young-Ho Koo, starts his approach, and his plant foot just digs straight into the turf. He completely stumbles, the ball is never even kicked, and the Patriots just take over. I mean, you literally can't make this stuff up. And Troy Aikman's reaction in the booth just said it all. He was completely stunned, basically said he'd never seen anything like it. And you know what? He's right. It has just been that kind of year for the Giants, where if something can go wrong, it absolutely will. So, when you take a step back, what does this all mean for the bigger picture? For the Patriots, this wasn't just another win. This was a statement. I mean, when you put it all together, the contrast is just so stark. You look at the key factors, right? The Pats had a poised, efficient quarterback. The Giants had a reckless, inconsistent one. The Pats' coaching was tough, fun, and disciplined. The Giants were just outclassed. And all that leads to elite execution for New England and a bunch of costly mental errors for New York. It is, quite literally, the anatomy of a blowout. And a performance like that, it really raises a bigger question. In a season where there isn't one single truly dominant team, why not the Patriots? I mean, they've now beaten 10 teams in a row. After a game like this, you have to start putting them in the conversation as one of the very best teams in the whole NFL.
They're tough, they're physical, they're disciplined, but they're also having fun. This team is the perfect reflection of its head coach. They're winning and they're confident. So the final question we're left with is this. In an NFL that feels completely wide open, is a new version of the Patriot way about to take over all over again?